G'day and welcome to another episode of Kiwi Car Life. And for the last year I have owned a facelift Legacy 3-litre manual. I absolutely love it. It's a fantastic car. I turned it into a Japanese police car for our cheap police car challenge, and it is a really fantastic car. However, this, as you can tell from the various modifications here at the front, is no ordinary Legacy 3-litre R. Under the bonnet is the standard EZ30, but it now has a massive Garrett turbocharger bolted to it. So today we're going to be seeing what a 3-litre R Legacy with the turbo is like. From factory, these cars have an EZ30. It's a 3-litre flat six, double cam with variable valve timing inside. It makes a decent amount of power, 180 kilowatt and 300 Newton meters at the crank. However, because this one now has a massive Garrett turbocharger, Raptor headers, an X-Force exhaust, a custom intake manifold, and obviously intercooler piping here at the front, and a custom dyno tune, it's now making 250 wheel kilowatt and 404 wheel Newton meters, which is a hefty amount of power for a 3-litre engine, right up there with the kind that you would expect to get out of like a tuned N54 and a BMW 335i, for instance. It's obviously going through a 6-speed manual transmission to all four wheels. It has upgraded STI axles to handle all of that extra power, along with an STI strut brace, teen lowering springs, and various other things to make all of this work. The interior is pretty standard 4th gen Legacy, aside from all of the extra gauges that he has here in the car. Overall, I definitely think that the facelift versions of these do have a much nicer interior. You know, my one has the nice leather seats, it has a much nicer steering wheel and a cooler gauge cluster. And when I compare the 2-litre turbo Legacy with my 3-litre R, you could sort of see how the pre-facelift and facelift compared. But overall, it's still a pretty decent interior. The build quality overall is all right. The steering wheel here feels nice. The seats are reasonably comfortable. The backlit gauges do look quite cool on these. The 6-speed manual in this one actually feels really quite good, a lot better than it does in mine. He's obviously had the bushings redone fairly recently, and overall it's a pretty decent place to sit. So let's take it out and see what this crazy turbo EZ30 is like. Driving the turbo EZ30, definitely compared with mine straight off, the ride is a lot firmer on these coilovers. It's a bit more sort of bouncy over bumps, but I'm actually quite surprised that even despite all the heavy modifications, it's actually still reasonably easy to drive. Drives pretty similar to mine in general. And yeah, the way the boost comes on is like so weird. I'm so used to like naturally aspirated power, and driving the same engine that I'm used to with now a turbo attached to it is very, very unusual, but let's see what it does. Wow, okay, yep. That's, no, that goes. But all the power only happens at like flipping 5,000 RPM. Doesn't do anything, like foot to the floor in 4th gear, nothing's happening. The turbo is too big, and the owner has admitted this, that the turbo is too big for the size of the engine. Just can't produce enough air to get it spooling up, because even at 4,000, nothing. And then yeah, like 4, 5 is where it really comes on the boost. Oh gee, the clutch is a bit of a challenge though, eh? Right, we're in 1st gear. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah. Then it goes, yeah. I've never been the biggest turbo fan. I've always preferred NA power delivery because it's predictable. This is very unpredictable power delivery. Like, it's like, how much am I going to get when I put my foot down? But it handles well, and you know, it's all clear here. When you do get in the boost, then oh yeah, that's too fast. That is too fast. 100% the quickest car I've driven today, man. Really fast, man. And because the gears are so short, like sure there's a bit of lag, but you can actually, certainly in 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, you can actually keep it in, you know, above 5,000 RPM and get it to stay right in the boost range. It never really sort of drops out. It's almost like turbo VTEC in a way. It's kind of funny, but yeah, no, that's blistering. And man, if you want to do something like this to your car, I'm sure it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, but it does make for a sensational driving experience, that's for sure. It's unbelievable. Look, it's not the most practical power, I will admit. You have to be at sensationally high RPM, but it is a joy. It is an absolute joy. So there we go, thanks very much for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you again next time.